So I have slowly but surely been working towards financial independence for quite a while now. Technically speaking, financial independence refers to when the value of your assets and your investments is enough to sustain you indefinitely, basically meaning that you're able to cover all your own bills just based on what you already have without actually needing a job. And I'm definitely not there yet. I'm not anywhere near there yet. But for me, at this point in my life, financial independence means getting to a place where I don't necessarily fully retire, but where I don't need a full-time job to be able to take care of myself. I'd like to get myself to a point where by my mid-30s, I'm able to just kind of work on a chill part-time basis, cover the majority of my bills from my assets, and then be able to work a little bit to cover the rest. When it comes to financial independence, a lot of people like to talk about investment strategies, but there is so much more to it than just that. For me personally, there are 6 principles and strategies that I use which help me to stay focused and help me to shape things in a way that fit my worldview and my personality. I think that that's such an important point when you're working towards a big goal, especially one like financial independence, is to be able to digest things in a way that makes sense for you, regardless of what all of the numbers and math and analytics say. I think something that's often overlooked when it comes to goal setting, especially for things that are long-term goals, is that the way that you approach it has to be sustainable and it has to be customized to you in a way that works for you, because if it's not, you're never going to be able to stick it out. So here are my 6 no-nonsense principles that are helping me achieve financial independence. Step 1 is develop a bad attitude. What I mean by that is that if you actually want to achieve financial independence, that goal has to stay front and center in your life. All of the decisions that you make about your job and your career need to be pushing you in that direction, and you need to be able to remove emotion from the situation. The relationship you have with your boss and your coworkers is just a business relationship, and you are only at that job for one reason. Under no circumstances should you find yourself feeling some sort of an allegiance to a company or a brand or a manager that doesn't actually suit your goals. I often see people struggling to decide if they should leave their job for a new one that pays more because they feel this sense of loyalty to their boss or to their coworkers, or they like the building that they work in, or some other arbitrary point that is not actually going to lead to them making more money or lead to them reaching their goals faster. I'm not saying that there isn't value to liking your job, and I'm also not saying that it's not important to get along with your coworkers, because you see those people all the time, so of course getting along with them makes your life much more pleasant and much easier. But if you could stay at the job that you're at right now and retire at 50 or 55, or you could change jobs and retire at 40 or 45, which one are you going to do? If your boss tries to impress you with pizza parties and petty bonuses, but things that don't actually move the needle in the direction you need it to move, don't for a minute allow yourself to be wooed by those things.
It's basically the same deal, except we get a free keg of beer for our meeting.
Yay!
And in exchange for that, we have to give up our dental plan.
Keep your head on straight, keep your focus locked, and know that they are not doing you any favors, and you have to remember that. Don't work hours that you're not getting paid for. Don't offer to do favors for work that aren't actually going to benefit you. And never stay at a job that is not going to pay you your full worth. Step number 2 is to learn to cook. I know I've talked about this on repeat. I feel like a broken record by now. I know other people have talked about this as well. But learning to cook is one of the most important things you can do to help you save money on a day-to-day basis. I think most people don't realize what a huge discrepancy there is between the cost of cooking at home and the cost of eating food from a restaurant. I'm not saying you have to be the next Gordon Ramsay, I'm not saying you have to be a pro chef, but even just learning to cook yourself 4 or 5 simple meals that you can rotate through on a weekly basis can save you so much money and help you to learn a new skill that's actually kind of enjoyable if you give it the chance to be.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
As an added bonus, when you're not going to restaurants or getting takeout very often, it actually feels kind of special when you do, and it's more enjoyable. Something that you do every single day just becomes a normal, mundane part of your life, but something that you save for special occasions will always feel special. For the cost of one restaurant meal, I could quite literally buy enough groceries to last me an entire week or more. So if you don't know how to cook, now's the time to learn. Step 3 is get a side hustle. I know that doesn't sound necessarily all that appealing to most people, especially if you already work a full-time job. You might come home and feel tired, and the last thing you want to think about is having to go out and work another job or make more money. But I think that side hustles provide a unique opportunity for you to find something that's actually a hobby that makes you a little bit of money, meaning it's something that you actually find fun and enjoyable to do, and therefore it doesn't feel like work at all. I made a video in the past where I talked about 25 different side hustle ideas that can earn you $50 per hour or more. I'm going to link to it up here and in the description box down below. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check it out. But if you can find a side hustle where you can even earn, let's say, an extra $100 a week, like just $100, that's an extra $400 a month that you can put directly into your savings or your investments, and that is a huge difference. Imagine just having $400 extra a month right now that you could tuck away for a rainy day. How would that change your life? Me personally, my favorite side hustle, which I've been doing for many years now, is flipping. Basically, I go onto Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji or Craigslist and I find items that I can buy and resell at a higher price. And I find it to be kind of fun. There's like a thrill of the hunt, a thrill of the bargain. And I thoroughly enjoy it, to be honest with you. Enough so that even if I didn't need the money, I'd probably continue to do it because I just like to do it. Step 4 is to get mad, specifically at the people who are trying to separate you from your money. I woke up the morning of Black Friday and I opened up my email and I found 32 marketing emails, some of which I don't even remember ever signing up for. Some of them are from stores that I never have even shopped at in my life. And they're all trying to just bombard you with bargains and deals and sales and you need this and you have to have this and you're insufficient without this and look how much better your life would be if you had that. Delete, 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 delete. And I kind of got grumpy about it, to tell you the truth, because I was just thinking like, if I needed any of these things, I wouldn't need their emails to remind me. I'd go out and I'd buy it because I needed it. If they have to bombard my email and try and convince me that I need their junk, I probably don't need their junk. It kind of like offended me a little bit, not in like a bad way, but in a way where I'm like, this is a game. Making money and more importantly, keeping money is a game. And everybody is trying to beat you in that game by getting you to give up your money to them. And so by allowing yourself to get mad and to develop a little bit of healthy hostility towards these companies that are trying so hard to take your money from you, it's only going to help you to stay the course. Step 5 is to stay mad. Okay, fine, so you've developed your healthy hostility, but now what? It can be exhausting. Like I said, a long-term goal can feel daunting. It can feel overwhelming at the best of times. Delaying gratification, in my opinion, is one of the most important skills somebody can have, but it's also one of the hardest to maintain because it can be really exhausting and you can burn out. And when you burn out, you don't tend to make great decisions. By no means am I saying that you should never treat yourself or allow yourself to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Of course, I would never suggest that. But when I say stay mad, I mean just keep your head on straight, keep your head down, keep your focus locked, and remind yourself why you're doing what you do. I think knowing the why is so important because if you're only looking at this from a mathematics standpoint, it's going to get really exhausting and you're going to just throw in the towel. If you remind yourself of your why, if you think about the life that you're trying to build for yourself and the opportunities that you're going to have once you reach your goal, it will help you to stay mad and stay focused and stay on track of your goals. And last but not least, step 6 is to get over yourself. Does that sound harsh? I'm sorry if it does, but what I mean by that is to practice contentment, to realize that you're not special. There's nothing special about you that makes you need things that everybody else has just because they have them. You don't need a new iPhone just because yours is a year or two old. You don't need a new car just because there's one that's fancier or faster or sexier than yours. You don't need the trendiest brand name clothing just to show other people that you're on the same level as them. So get over yourself. Practice contentment. Be happy with what you have. If the stuff that you have does the job that it needs to do, then it's perfectly good. So much of our money and subsequently the hours that we work are wasted on things that we don't actually need, but we've convinced ourselves that we want just because other people have them, just because we want to be able to feel a certain way about ourselves, or more importantly, make an impression on somebody else about who we think we are, or who we want to be seen as at least.
Oh God, it's so unnecessary!
Oh, you have excellent taste.
I'm the kind of person that took pride in having a smashed up iPhone 6 when everybody else was buying the iPhone 11, because you know what? Mine still did the same thing that theirs did and I had $1,000 extra in my pocket still. I take great pride in rolling through an expensive neighborhood in my 10-year-old Toyota because I know that I can sleep good at night knowing that I don't have a car payment looming over my head. Ultimately, everything in life is subjective and everybody assigns value in different places, and if you're somebody who finds a lot of value or finds a lot of appreciation in something that maybe somebody else doesn't, it's perfectly okay to invest in the things that make you happy. But it's important to stop and ask yourself if you really actually need those things, if you actually really want them, and if they're actually going to provide you the value that you've convinced yourself they're going to provide you. So if everything you have in your life right now works perfectly well and does what you need it to do, and you still find that empty feeling inside of you trying to convince you that you need something newer, fancier, or better, get over yourself. Anyways, this is just how I see life. This is just the way that I'm working towards my goals. Obviously, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a life coach. I am just somebody on the internet who's sharing some thoughts with you. But I'm really curious to hear your thoughts and your opinions. If there's a big goal you're working towards, whether it's financial independence or something other, are there principles or strategies that you use to help keep yourself focused on that goal? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video at all, if you found it at all helpful or insightful or even just entertaining, please go ahead and hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I make videos about minimalism, personal finance, simple living, frugal living, investing, all that good stuff. So hit subscribe and hit the notification bell as well so you get notified every time I post a new video. I upload every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at according_2_Nicole. Other than that, thank you guys so much as always for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next week.
Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
Bullseye!